Now this is DICAS overview for 3.0 part 2. So in the first video we completed our profile, we determined what course or what programs we were going to apply to, and completed our personal information. Now we're going to move on to the area of academic history. So in the first section you're going to include all the colleges that you've attended, regardless of their relevance to the program you're applying to, and whether the coursework completed was transferred to another institution. So I know a lot of you have attended community colleges or other institutions prior to coming to ASU, so you will include all of those institutions in your application. So you'd click Add a College, say what college or university did you attend. Just start typing and it'll obviously start to populate different options. You'll select Arizona State, downtown. Did you obtain or are you planning to obtain a degree from this college or university? For this institution you would say yes. Then it's going to ask you, were you awarded the degree or is your degree in progress? For most of you, you will say degree in progress. Then you're going to select what type of degree are you planning to earn. The Bachelor of Science degree in nutrition, and actually it's Bachelor of Science in Dietetics, but they obviously don't have a Bachelor of Science in Dietetics listed here, so your best option is a Bachelor of Science. Select the month and year, so let's say you're going to graduate the spring of May 2023, and then you would select your degree. I'm going to scroll down here and find dietetics. If you have a minor, you can select your minor here. If you don't have a minor, you will select none. If you were getting another degree, you can add that here. It's going to ask what type of term system does this college or university use. They ask this because the way you're going to put in your coursework will then be set up in a quarter, semester, or trimester setup in the next section. So make sure you know and identify the correct term system. At ASU, we're semester-based. Are you still attending this college? If you put degree in progress, you would say yes. And then when did you first attend this college or university? So they want you to select the first and last terms you attended this institution regardless of gaps in attendance. So maybe I started in the fall, which would be August, and let's say I started in 2020. Now I'm going to click Save. Now it's noted one college that I've started, Arizona State, downtown. If you made a mistake, you can easily click on the edit button or the pencil button here. Or if you realized this is the wrong university or this was just all wrong completely, you can always hit the trash can or delete button. You're going to do this for every institution you've attended. You'll notice they say transcripts are required. You can submit your application before they are received, but you must submit all required documents in order to complete your application. So you'll notice that it also asks for what type of transcripts. Official transcript is required. You can hover over the little I to actually define what this is. And you can actually order transcripts. So if I click on order, another box pops up, and you'll need to know what type of school or what type of program they participate in. So for e-transcripts, I know I've already looked ahead and I know ASU uses parchment. Okay. If the university that you are looking to order transcripts from does not participate in electronic, you can always go to option 2, which is order a mailed paper transcript. So step 1, you're going to download this form. This is essentially a form that tells the university or institution what it is that you need and where to send it to. And then it has also your address here and where you need to send that transcript. This is pretty important because it includes your transcript ID, so make sure you do include that so they can link that transcript to your specific application. Right now I'm going to just click I will do this later, which you can do as well if you're not quite ready to order your transcripts at that time. Okay. Once you've entered all of your different colleges or institutions, you're then going to go to coursework entry. This is a little bit different than previous DICAS applications. You actually are going to be including every single course you've taken throughout your collegiate career, which means every class listed on those transcripts will be entered into this application. DICAS understands and recognizes that's a lot of time and effort on students' part, so they do offer this professional transcript entry option. Essentially, you're sending DICAS your transcripts and they're going to enter all of your coursework into your application on your behalf. Question of how long does it take? They'll begin as soon as you submit your application and receive your official transcripts. So you would complete everything else, submit your application, order your transcripts, and then DICAS will take care of the rest. Of course, why would you want to do this? It's giving you a couple different reasons and rationale, essentially saving you some time and potential errors, but it does cost a fee. So depending on your availability of funds and your willingness to farm this out to a third party, this is totally up to you. But you do need to make the decision here whether or not you'd like to have them to enter your transcripts or if you're going to do it yourself. Okay, I'm going to say no thank you. I'll handle it myself and continue. Again, you're going to put all of your courses listed on your transcripts. So my advice is to download an unofficial copy of all of your transcripts. When you're doing this, you don't have to have an official copy to do so. I know it says that here, but essentially ASU's official transcripts are identical in the listing of the courses as the unofficial. The official just has a fancy seal on it. So you can download an unofficial copy to use for this part of your coursework. Okay. Maricopa County or any community college institution would be the same. You can download an unofficial copy in order to input these in. But you do need to order and have sent official copies for your application. Okay, official copies just take time, and obviously there's a cost associated with it. So it's up to you on how you want to proceed with that, but my advice is unofficial works for the purposes of adding them in your application. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hit start to enter my coursework, and it says, all right, start by adding a semester. So I'm going to start by adding a semester. I'm going to start with fall, and I'm going to start in 2020 when I started. I was maybe a freshman at that time, and I, at this point, would have completed those courses. Okay, I'm going to hit save. Now I'm going to add a course. In that term, now I'm adding a course that I took during that time. So maybe I took NTR 241. That's human nutrition. It falls under nutrition, so I'm going to scroll down. It's a 3-credit course, and I got an A. Now I'm going to hit save. Okay, you're going to wash and repeat essentially for every semester and every class that you took. So not just your DPD courses, but every single class. So your English, your accounting, your foreign language, any of your electives, they're all going to be added. Okay. And of course, it's always going to give you a little reminder. You can always go back and have somebody else do that for you. They're never going to miss an opportunity to advertise this to you. But please don't feel obligated to go this route. It is a cost, and there is, yes, this takes time, but it's not difficult. It's just tedious. Okay. What I do want to point out is you'll notice, depending on the program you're applying to, they list some prereq information. So it says some of the programs to which you're applying have prerequisites. Please enter coursework that fulfills these prerequisites. So Rutgers, one of the ones I had identified, has these different areas of coursework that I needed to identify and label in order to meet their requirements. If you are applying to just straight dietetic internships, you may not see this. But for programs that are future education model graduate programs that do not require a verification statement, you may indeed see something like this. Okay, so this is just a reminder to you on the different courses that you will need to have done and completed, or at least in progress, while you are applying for that program. Okay. They also provide you a nice little short video to show you step by step essentially what I just did. But if you don't want to review or come back to this video, it's easily indicated here or listed here. You can just click on it and it'll give you a nice summary of how to add your courses in. Okay. I'm going to scroll down to DPD verification or certification. And this says, I certify I've entered all my completed and future planned coursework, and all or past future courses related to my DPD work have been entered. I say I agree. And it's going to give you also your ability to preview. The nice thing is that you do get a pop-up and it says you've saved it successfully. You can either go back to the dashboard of your application or you can move on to the next section. And here's where you can list any standardized tests. If you have GRE that's required or TOEFL. Majority of programs now don't require either or, but they still leave the option just in the event that they do have a requirement. You can always select, I'm not adding any standardized tests. Okay. Now that I'm completed, I'm going to go back to my application, and it'll show you essentially where you're at for your sections have completed. Obviously, I hadn't completed all of my coursework, so that's where some of the things that I'm missing here. Okay. Supporting information. This is the area where you're going to list basically everything that you have in your resume. What achievements you have completed, so this is relevant professional or academic achievements in different categories. So you're going to add an achievement. There's different types: award, honor, presentation, publication, or scholarship. You'll list that. You'll note that the only two things required is the type and the name. I do highly encourage you, though, to provide the rest of this information to the best of your ability, with at least a minimum of a brief description so the dietetic internship director or whoever is reviewing this application for that program has an understanding of what that achievement entailed. Same thing with experience. You're going to click on Add an Experience. What type do you want to add? You have academic, enrichment, extracurricular, employment, or volunteer. Academic enrichment would be something that you did, but you received course credit for it. Extracurricular is something you did, but it wasn't necessarily, you didn't earn course credit for it, and it wasn't seen as maybe a volunteer. So this could be a club membership that you had and the like. Employment, obviously places where you've worked and received payment, and then volunteering, areas out in the community where you have volunteered your time for no money. You're going to name the organization. The bare minimum is name, country, and state. You'll notice they do ask for supervisor information, but it is not a requirement. So if you have that information, it's good to list it, but not required. The dates, however, are required. So your date, the experience, if it's a current experience, and this is probably relevant really to employment or volunteer. Are you still doing this or are you not? And then the type of experience details, so the title, the type of recognition that you received. Were you paid or compensated? Did you get academic credit or was it volunteer? Estimate your average number of weekly hours and the average number of weeks that you completed this activity, and it will do the math for you. This is where you can be descriptive in everything that you completed in that activity. My recommendation is, use bullets, but you can be more verbose than you are in your resume. Notice you do have a word count limit of 600, which is a fair amount of text, but you can't go overboard. So just keep that in mind. But the more descriptive you are, the better off you can describe to that internship director or whoever is reviewing that application about what you did. Release of authorization. So if they would like to contact that individual, say for your employer, to find out more, you can indicate yes or no. And then you obviously will hit save and continue when everything is completed. Memberships. So you're going to add a membership if you were a student member or professional membership. So say you were a student member of a club or professional membership, so you belong to the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. So if I select student membership, I'll add the name in the group or the name of the organization and to briefly describe. So if you were held an office, if you participated in different events, you would want to list that here. For professional, same kind of thing. Okay. Licenses and certifications. If you've obtained your DTR, this is where that would go. Or if you have a ServSafe, that's considered a certification. So you'll list the certification, who issued it, and then the date that it was issued and when it was valid until. You'll notice they also want you to upload a copy of your certification. So for ServSafe, this is something you can get with your ServSafe login information. You can go and access your certificate and upload that. Documents. So this is a requirement regardless of any type of program you're applying to. They want you to add your CV or your resume, a DPD course list form. That's something you would obtain from your DPD director. For Arizona State University students, this is also listed in the ASU Dietetic Student Canvas course shell. You can also contact me, the DPD director, for this form. You'll notice they also have additional options for you to submit resumes if you have a different version of your resume, or if you've updated a resume and you want to show progress, you can include that. These are obviously not necessary. You don't have to include multiple resumes. One is all that's required. You'll notice the little asterisk. These are the 2 required documents. Okay. Last on this section is your DPD documents. Because you indicated, or we indicated at the start of this, that we have a declaration of intent or verification statement, this is the opportunity to ask for that document. Okay, so I'm going to click the plus here. Evaluator's name is the name of your DPD director. So for ASU students, that's me, Tracy Gergich, my email address. Now due date, you're going to put the due date of when the application is due. I am fully aware of when your applications are due and will obviously get this to you submitted and completed prior to that, but you'll want to indicate the due date of the application for that cycle, which is always February 15th for spring match. In this section, this is important, I need you to tell me what you need. Do you need a verification statement or do you need a declaration of intent? As a reminder, declaration of intent is needed if you have yet to graduate and you're in the last semester prior to graduating with your bachelor's degree. The verification statement is you have graduated and have received a verification statement from your DPD director at the conclusion or when your degree posted. I don't know, I can't follow everybody's progress, so if you don't leave me an information or a note of what you need here, you will be getting an email from me asking what you need, because I have no idea. So please do me a favor and let me know what you need, declaration of intent or verification statement. Okay. You can say yes or no to this. If you say yes, you waive your right. It essentially just means you can't see if what I wrote for your verification statement, the dates and all of that. There's nothing secret here. I think this is just part of their process for any kind of document request. So it doesn't really matter. If you want to say no, then you have access and you can see what I've submitted, which is essentially, yeah, they have a declaration of intent, or yes, they have a verification statement. This is an important one to click because it gives the program permissions to contact me by the email you provided on your behalf. So this is an important one to click. Same thing with this one, and understand that the school to which I'm applying can contact me if they have questions. Me meaning the DPD director. Okay. Once you've completed that, you'll hit save, and it'll send me a message indicating what you requested. Okay. So as soon as you hit save, this is one that you want to have completed once you hit save. If you don't leave a message, obviously it's a requirement for you to leave a message, but if you just put, I don't know, this is not going to prove helpful for me, but it will still allow you to submit it. Okay. So if you can put declaration or verification, that's all I need. Okay. Then I can save this document. And you'll note it'll show it here. You sent it to me, Tracy Gergich, requested on this date. It was requested. Say you accidentally forgot to put in the request or what you needed, or you requested the wrong thing, you can always go in and edit. Or maybe you put in the wrong name, you can delete and start over. And then we can go back to the application.